This episode of Now This Is Lit is brought to you by Audible. Check the link in the description to get your first Star Wars audiobook free. Everyone loves free things. Click that link. Do it. This show is also brought to you by our patrons. If you want to support the show in a different way, with just $1 a month, you can join our Patreon at patreon.com/StarWarsLitPod. You can get a sticker. You can get access to an exclusive show that we do every month that's wild and chaotic and fun and something you can only get by becoming a member of the Patreon. There'll be so many more perks very, very soon. But for now, do you want a sticker? Do you want a sticker that has a Now This Is Lit logo? Because it's fantastic and I love them. But I also want to give them away because there's just a stack of stickers on my desk. So if you want one, $1 a month. Patreon.com/StarWarsLitPod. A long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. You're listening to Now This Is Lit, a podcast about Star Wars books, the people who make them, and the readers who just can't get enough of them. I'm your host, Meg Dowell. I use she, her pronouns. And this is a special bonus episode in honor of LEGO Star Wars Rebuild the Galaxy Pieces of the Past, which, as you're listening to this, is out today. And this is a Star Wars books podcast, technically. Today's interview is with a Star Wars audiobook narrator, but also it's Ashley Eckstein. So best known for, many things that are not that. This was genuinely a delightful conversation. I left it feeling so much more positive about my friendships, and that will all make sense once you listen to the interview. Ahsoka Tano is back in this fun little special, and I cannot wait for all of you to watch it and for all of you to listen to this interview. Enjoy. Okay, so let's jump into this. First of all, welcome back to Star Wars.
Thank you.
It's so good to have you back.
Thank you.
And I'm sure, you've come and gone many times, but as we all like to say here, no one's ever really gone. And we all knew you'd be back eventually. And it's a little bit special for you because, of course, you have a very special relationship with Ahsoka, who you are voicing in Pieces of the Past, which I have not seen yet as we're recording, but I'm very excited to check it out. And I wanted to start by asking how it feels to be back in Star Wars, especially back getting to voice Ahsoka again.
Oh, it's a dream come true to voice Ahsoka again. It's something I never take for granted, especially, post Clone Wars ending, and now that we have Ahsoka in live action, I'm so grateful that Ahsoka's story gets to continue in all mediums. And Dave Filoni promised me I'd always be the voice of Ahsoka in animation, but I didn't know if she would ever come back in animation.
Yeah.
So to have the opportunity was just a privilege and such a nice surprise. And it felt like stepping back into the most comfortable pair of boots that you've already broken in and you've walked miles in, but they're just molded to your feet, and you're just like, okay, let's go. I'm ready to go. So it felt incredible.
Do you find it easy now, even after we haven't seen you as Ahsoka or heard you as Ahsoka for a few years? Do you find it easy to kind of jump right back in, even if it's been a minute?
Fortunately, yes. Ahsoka is a part of me at this point. She just is. She's a part of my heart. She's a part of my soul. So much of Ahsoka is my own personality, even though over the years, Ahsoka has inspired me so much that it's like the tables turned. I was cast as Ahsoka to be myself, but now I think every day, what would Ahsoka do? How can I be more like Ahsoka? So our personalities are definitely kind of like one in the same now.
Yeah.
But it's like have compartments in my brain of, you know, once I know what age she is and what era she's in and what's happened, I can kind of go right to that moment in time, and what she sounds like and her tone, I can just jump right into it. And I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful that, you know, pretty much my entire adult life has been one with Ahsoka, and I'm grateful she's a part of me.
And it really comes through, you know, every time you play her, it's like, oh, it's not just Ahsoka, it's Ashley's in there too. We
Oh,
love that.
thank you. Thank you.
I am curious. You've done a lot of roles throughout your career, across different mediums, and you know, you've narrated audiobooks, you've voiced different characters in shows, video games. You've done a lot of things. But I want to know for you, is voicing a Lego character any different? Because the thing about Lego Star Wars is it's a little bit sillier because it's supposed to be, because that's the heart of it. And I just want to know, is it any different?
That's a great question. Um, in the past, in the early days, I should say, when I voiced an Ahsoka minifig in a video game, it was very different because
Yeah.
I was only doing sounds, and that was really silly. You know, I tried my best to give the essence of Ahsoka, but without words and only making sounds. It was definitely there. There was a lot of laughter in the studio, you could say. Um, for this, Ahsoka's going to look very different. I mean, it's brickhead Ahsoka. So that may take a moment for fans to look at and be like, oh, this is jarring. She looks different. But I think very quickly you're going to settle in and be like, ah, yeah, that's Ahsoka. Because it's not written any differently. It's still the same heart, the same soul, the same spirit of Ahsoka. And you know, even though the galaxy, it's silly, right? You know, it's everything's mashed up, and it's you know, it's kind of as though a kid is playing with Lego in their bedroom. But Ahsoka in this, you know, in this series it's still the same. She doesn't know it's silly. She doesn't know any different. This is just Ahsoka being Ahsoka, and you're gonna see that, and you're gonna hear that. You're gonna be like, oh, it's she's there. It's Ahsoka's heart. It's still the same.
When you're preparing for a role like this or for anything, you know, when you're about to go in and you're about to read your lines and do everything that you need to do in order to make Ahsoka or any character come alive, how do you get yourself into the best headspace for doing that?
You know, that's a great question, because this is one thing with voice acting which often catches people by surprise, especially with Star Wars, because everything's so top secret. We don't get our scripts until right before, you know, very with Clone Wars back in the day. I mean, we were lucky if we got our scripts 24 hours in advance.
Yeah.
Sometimes we got them as we walked into the studio. Lego, I think I got it a little bit before, but you don't have much time to prep. And so you have to you have to just jump right in and oftentimes do a cold read and learn it on the spot. And so fortunately for me, because I've been doing Ahsoka for so long and she's just a piece of me, you know, she's a piece of my past, but she's just a piece of me. I can jump right in. I can read the line and then just do it. But I get asked all the time, you know, by people. They say, well, I want to be a voice actor. Any advice? And I do tell them that you have to be able to do a cold read, because in the early days when Ahsoka wasn't easy for me to jump right into, and I was still finding the character and learning the character, it was still a cold read. I didn't have the script much in advance, and there wasn't much time to practice. And sometimes they would rewrite lines on the spot, and you're given the line and you have to instantly do it. And oftentimes you only have 3 to 5 takes, and that's it. And then you have to move on. And so you have to become very quick on your feet. You have to read the line and do it right away, and get it right within 3 to 5 takes. So I was mostly a film and television actress. And in that case, you usually have a little more time to practice. Um, Ahsoka was my first big voiceover role. So you could definitely say I was a Padawan back in the day when I first became Ahsoka. And I'm very grateful that I got to learn on the job and I got to learn through this character.
Tell me about your new podcast, because it is all about friendship, which is something that's important to the Star Wars galaxy and in the real world. And I'd love to know more about, why this podcast, why now, and why friendship? Why is that so important to you? And why is it so important that you want to share all these ideas with so many other people?
Well, thank you so much for asking. As I mentioned, Ahsoka has now inspired me so much.
Mm.
I want and strive to be a real life version of Ahsoka Tano. And my favorite Ahsoka line, which has now become my personal motto, she says, "In my life, when you find people who need your help, you help them, no matter what. I guess it's just who I am." And I had the opportunity to do this podcast with my friend Michael James Scott. He's the genie in Aladdin on Broadway, but we've been friends since 1996. We went to high school together. I met Michael my freshman year of high school. We were two theater kids, and we instantly bonded. We instantly hit it off. So we wanted to work more together. We wanted to do more together, and you know, we didn't want to do a podcast just to talk about pop culture. If we were going to do it, we both had a heart to help. And so right around the same time, the US Surgeon General released a report that we're experiencing a loneliness epidemic. And as you might, well, we've talked about it. As you know, I'm a big advocate for mental health. And I've been posting ever since 2018 on every Monday for Mental Health Monday. I also work with the Kids Mental Health Foundation. And, they've taught me that connection is a basic need. Connection is a basic need, just like food and water and sleep. We need to connect. And in a way to combat this loneliness epidemic is friendship. And so I said to Michael, I was like, look, I'd love to do a podcast, but can we call it Hype Friend and do it all about friendship? I said, is it too big of a dream to say that we want to start a friendship revolution, one hype friend at a time? And thankfully, Michael was like, no, he's like, I'm on board. Michael is just a ball of joy. He likes to spread joy wherever he goes. And so, we're on this friendship journey too. We're not experts. We're just two friends trying to make the world a better place and asking everyone to go on this journey with us. And it's a podcast all about how to make friends, be friends, keep friends, foster friendship, social skills, social etiquette, social media, all the things, but really with an effort to connect. And because it's proven that just one good friend can change your life. And so, when the world often feels so out of control, when it feels like a dark place or a sad place or a lonely place, there's so much that we can't control. There's so much that we can't affect, but we can choose friendship, and we can be a good friend, and we can change our circle. We can change the people in our life just by being a good friend, by being a hype friend. So that's our why. We just started, but so far it's people, it's working. People are joining our neighborhood, as we say, joining our hype hood. And it's already changed my life. Like it's changed my pattern and behaviors of how I connect with people. Just be more mindful about it.
And listen, you of all people should know that no dream is too big. And I'm really glad that you had someone to hype you up, as you might say, and say, let's go for it. I love that.
Thank you.
I love it. And I was just talking to someone the other day about how hard it is to not necessarily even make friends, but keep them too. Everyone is so busy all the time, and it's, you're texting back and forth and let's meet up. And sometimes you just don't get around to it. But, it's great that, you're able to not just recognize that friendship is so important, but you're able to just do something about it and take something that you're passionate about and turn it into something that everyone can benefit from. It's a really good thing, and I'm glad you're doing it.
Thank you so much. One phrase that's really made a difference with me, and we talk about on the podcast, is friendship is a practice. And if you think about it like that, like anything that we would practice, whether you practice a sport, practice an instrument, practice singing, practice a video game, you don't get better without practicing. Well, friendship is the same thing. It's a practice, and you have to practice it. You have to work at it. You have to put the effort in. And especially with kids, for the kids in our life, friendship is learned. It's a skill that has to be learned. And so the only way to learn it is by doing it. And so I think, technology is a great thing. It is a great thing, but it's not meant to replace connection.
Yeah.
And it enhances it, but it's not meant to replace it. And I think in so many cases, it's just become a crutch where it's like, oh, I don't need to connect with that person in person. I can just send them a text. And so we've gotten away from connection, which has led to loneliness. So yeah, we're not saying this is bad. We're not saying the phone is bad. Or social media is bad. We're just saying it's not meant to replace it, and we're encouraging people to connect.
One more fun question before I let you go and hopefully enjoy the rest of your Friday. Tell me about your favorite friendship in Star Wars.
Ooh, that's a great question. I mean, I have to say Anakin. Even though it goes very badly. Anakin and Ahsoka have such a love for each other. And that's something we talk about on Hype Friend too, because love oftentimes gets confused. When we think of love, we think of a romantic love, like a partner or a spouse or a boyfriend or girlfriend, or, but loving your friend is a very important love. And, they love each other. It's like brother, sister. It's two best friends. They genuinely love each other. And we see that. We see that at the end of season 5, when Ahsoka walks away from the Jedi Order. We see it at the end of season 3, when Anakin thought he lost Ahsoka when she was kidnapped, and on that island with the other younglings. We even see it in Rebels with Ahsoka when she's discovering what Anakin's turned into. They have this bond and this love for each other that is really beautiful, and then ends up being tragic. But Anakin taught Ahsoka so much about friendship and about love. And sometimes friendship isn't easy. I mean, we see that in Tales of the Jedi during Practice Makes Perfect, when Anakin was training her, and we find out that he was training her so hard because he was training her to save her own life. So yeah, off the top of my head, that would be my favorite friendship. I'm probably going to think about this question all day. But definitely they have a love that just is so special, and I love their relationship.
Yeah, it's a good one. That was a good answer. I figured maybe you would say that, but listen, I don't know.
That's a great question.
Thank you. That is all I have for you. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me. I really, really appreciate it.
Oh gosh, I so appreciate your time. Thank you. I appreciate you being the ultimate hype friend.
Now This Is Lit is part of the Faraway Fandom Network. It is produced by Devor Montum and written, hosted, and edited by me. Jose Jimenez designed our podcast art. You can keep up with the show on Substack, and Now This Is Lit, and find the show wherever you get your podcasts. There are so many ways you can support the show, and all of those ways are linked in the show description. The newest way is to become a member of our Patreon. For $1 a month, you can get access to an exclusive show and a sticker. And if we get 500 people to support the Patreon per month, I can hire an editor. That would be great for me, and maybe for you too. So if you'd like to support the show with just $1 a month, you can do it that way. Or you can just keep listening and sharing the episodes. That is also helpful, and I appreciate it. For more book reviews and Star Wars Book Celebration, follow Star Wars Book Reviews on Instagram and TikTok.